Hey, welcome back everybody. Today's gonna be a little different video. We're gonna do some cosmetic stuff here on the Volkswagen Passat. If you watched an earlier video of mine about a year ago, this used to be chrome and I vinyl wrapped it gloss black to make it look a lot better. I think it looks a lot better for sure, but I've never liked it. I never liked this piece. I don't know why it's on these cars. A lot of these, the upgraded models, don't even have that strip. But anyway, come to find out, it is glued on with adhesive, but that adhesive is extremely thick and stubborn and hard to get off with just chemicals alone. I mean, you're gonna spend days trying to get it off by hand with just chemicals. So we're gonna go through this, get this piece off, minimal tools. You don't even need to really heat it or anything like that. We're gonna go through that. I'm gonna show you how to use an eraser wheel on it. It worked great for me. Let me show you the other side, what it looks like. That's it. See how nice that looks? I didn't damage the paint, no scratches, nothing. So I'm gonna show you how to use this eraser wheel. It only took me about 30 minutes to do the whole project, really. Maybe 40. I'm very happy with it. It looks much, much better than having some ridiculous black or chrome strip running down the side of the car. Now the back strip there that's black, that's another story. That's not glued on, okay? That's clipped in. But I'm gonna vinyl wrap that gloss white to match the car because you can't really take that off without having a groove in there and it's gonna look stupid. So I'm just gonna have to vinyl wrap that. But these are just glued on with adhesive. So let's get it off pretty easy. This is basically it. This is all you're gonna need. I used a pry tool. I started with some fishing line. If you can't get it started, that's a good place, that's a good thing to use to get it started. But that adhesive is so thick that the fishing line just breaks as you go down, even if you double it up and go slow. So I found, because it's gonna break in several pieces, I'm not trying to save it, I'm just gonna throw it in the trash. I'm just gonna break it in several pieces. It doesn't damage the paint or anything. I'm just gonna pull it away from that adhesive. And there's no need to use a heat gun on this whatsoever. You can, but I'm in Houston and it's hot already. So, but if you wanted to, let me grab it. You could use a heat gun. So that's optional. It doesn't hurt, but be careful. Don't heat it up too much. You don't want to damage your paint. You know, go over it fairly evenly and just loosen that adhesive up a little bit, get it a little soft, but I'm not gonna be doing that today. So an easy way to start it is to grab some fishing line, okay? And just run it right along there. There we go. And just go up and down slowly until it breaks. But, well, it hasn't broke yet. I'm sure it will soon. Just run it down. You can see that dirt because I washed it off before I showed you this, but now that I've done that, there you go. See, now I've got that pry tool. It's not going to scratch anything. Just run it down. Just run it down. And being a plastic pry tool, which I'll put these in the description, these things are amazing. I've used them for everything on this car. They don't scratch anything and they're strong and they're not expensive. So you just run it down. Now it'll probably break off in pieces as I go, but that's okay because I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna throw it in the freaking trash because I hate it. So I'm not gonna bore you with this whole process. It doesn't take long, probably 5 minutes or so, but I'm just gonna start breaking this off as I go. It's not pretty, but underneath you can see that adhesive. It is nasty, it is thick. It's really tough. And with any kind of solvent or Goo Gone or Goof Off, it's really just not gonna, it would take forever and it didn't really do the job. I tried it, but I had to get me this eraser wheel, and that's basically what this video is about. Just get yourself one. I'll put a link in the description. It wasn't expensive at all. You can get the expensive ones, but there's no difference as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I think I spent $7 or $8 on it. Yeah, totally worth it. So, yeah. Let's get this thing, just pull on it. Slide it down as you go. It'll break. Because it's already warm out here, see, it's coming off fairly well. Nope, it didn't break off. There you go. That's one piece. but that's what we're gonna use the eraser wheel for. This stuff is nasty. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just get this other side done, and I won't bore you with that, and get the eraser wheel out, and we'll show you how to take all this stuff off. And it's gonna look like the other side. So that took about 3 minutes, that second part there. Takes 5 minutes, people. It's not hard, and you didn't damage anything, but it looks like crap. All of that will go away. So let's get at it, get the eraser wheel going. But I'm gonna show you the other side one more time, just so you can see how good it's gonna look compared to this. Let's go around. Look at that. That used to look like the other side. It's like it was never there. That's what we want. That's what we're gonna do. Here we go, guys. Notice how I've worn like a little spot out here. That's from doing the other side, and that's a nice place and a nice angle, because you kind of want to stay on the same angle. And one other thing is, you don't want to go too fast. You don't want to rotate it too fast. Just at a medium speed, and you want to keep moving it because you don't want to heat up the surface area of the paint too much. So yeah, little by little. I'll show you. Let's go. And I will say that if this were a regular decal or like an emblem or something, it would be much easier. This stuff is seriously thick, seriously thick. Now the remnants that you see here, a lot of that you can use a Goo Gone or Goof Off. Let it sit on there for a few minutes and then just wipe it off as you go down, just like waxing it a little bit. But so that's what I'll do in the end, but this saves so much time. So if you can see this stuff is where this stuff comes in, the little stuff. But we're going to do that in the end. But it's coming off very, very quickly compared to what it would come off if you use this stuff. I mean, it doesn't really come off at all. I mean, I worked my butt off on it, and I finally gave up and got this eraser wheel. Saved the day. Let's do the rest of this thing. So we got almost half of it done. That took me probably, I know I did a time lapse, probably took me 5 minutes max. So yeah, and it's just the rough blow by. You can see there's still some adhesive, but that all comes off with the with that. You just have to let it soak a little bit and then rub into it real well. So it is work, but that eraser wheel, oh my God, 5 minutes versus 5 hours maybe. What it would take. Even if you could do it with just the chemicals alone, I don't know if you could do it or not, but we're gonna get this other part done and clean it up. So you'll have a bunch of shavings from the rubber eraser wheel, but to just get that off, now I'm going to spray some Goo Gone because that's what I happen to have. I'd rather have Goof Off on this stuff and let it soak for about 10 minutes and then go through and just kind of buff everything out. I'm not going to bore you with that, but that second part took a little longer, plus it's hotter out here, and that adhesive is so thick on this paneling, on this from that chrome piece, that the hotter it gets, the harder it is. So it's best to do it when it's cool as far as removing it, because it just smears and spreads. So that's why it took me longer. It's nice to take it, this chrome strip, off when it's warm, but it's easier to use the eraser wheel when it cools down. All right, so I'm just gonna go through here and just spray that, let it soak in for a while. It does work, but you know, it's just for small things. It's not made for big jobs. So let's let that soak a little bit. So I don't want to bore you with the rest of this. I just wanted to show you how the eraser wheel works. It works fantastic. You can see it there. I still have some life left on it. If I have to remove the emblems or anything, I haven't decided yet. But that there, when it's all done, you're not going to know that it was ever there. It's going to look like this on the other side. You'd never know. It matches the car. Everything's perfect. I'll leave links for that eraser wheel over there in the description. So get yourself that. You don't have to go out and get the 3M one or anything like that. You saw that worked fine. I did both sides of the car and it was a pretty big job. Just get that one. I think it was like $8. Check out the link, get it. So guys, I really appreciate you. I want to say thank you. There's no need to, you know how to wipe things down. I don't need to show you that just to get video time here. So I'm going to save you the time, but I want to thank you for watching and for sticking with me throughout the last year or so. This channel is starting to do great. It's coming around. I get a lot of good comments and suggestions. Please offer yours. I appreciate it. And consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.